Hello, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Dan, and after the disastrous start to this playthrough, I've had a bit of a rethink, and we're gonna kind of slow things down. We're gonna set up a little bit of a base camp. We're gonna get a little more established. Some farming, some food, hopefully even getting an enchantment setup done today. Obviously, we gotta do some more mining because iron isn't gonna cut it. I did come across a few diamonds while I was establishing my little kind of mine shaft area, but only a couple. After the quick trip to the mines, we got to do our duties of feeding up the cows, throwing some more chicken eggs, harvesting the fields, and as is so very typical, I either end up back down in the mines or I go do some fishing for a few more levels because I keep losing them or using them. But managed to find everything except diamonds, it seems. I got quite a lot of cobbled deep slate. We got some basic redstone, a few blocks of the lapis, and a strip mine that is rather disastrous. Goes off in all sorts of different directions. I've got lava pits everywhere, open ravines. It's not the cleanest, so I'm not going to show it off very much. I'm not very proud of it. Also turns out, where I've decided to settle down, is home to a very rapid spawning drowned population. And I don't know if this is common, but a lot of them have tridents, and, well, I really want one. So, now that I've spotted a second one, let's go for it. Ow. Wow, those guys hurt. And dead. Alright, where'd my sword go? That's the only thing I really need. There it is. Ow. Hey! Oh, we got a trident! It was worth it. It was so worth it. I have no idea what I'm going to use it for, but I have one. With the amount of time I've spent fishing, I decided I better build something to stand on that's a little nicer than just a dirt block or some sand. I don't have a ton of different materials right now, so we're going to have to rely on the good old oak and birch, and we'll mix it up with some slabs and some stairs, and we'll throw some fences at it, and eventually I'm going to do my best to build up a large stockpile of lanterns, and maybe even some of those blue campfires. And I'm going to use that for lighting around the base and, well, most specifically on this little dock. Now, I'm not the greatest builder, as you may be aware. I'm here to learn. So I'm just kind of doing things that make sense to me, and I'm giving them a little bit of a story. Mostly because I've run out of the same materials, so there has to be different stuff used. So in this instance, well, we've got one spot that gets used more than the others and is worn out. That's why it looks different. We're just gonna kind of overlook the fact that I don't know how to place barrels properly, it seems. I wanted one facing up and then one facing sideways. Embarrassingly, this is not the first attempt at this. It actually took me 2 tries to make it work out smoothly, but, you know, again, learning. So, for the time being, so I don't get creepers or skeletons spawning on me while I'm fishing, we're just going to throw some torches up on top of these fence posts. I'm going to attempt to parkour onto a fence from a half slab a couple blocks away, and, well, eventually I'll be able to do it on the first try, or maybe the second. But let me know what you think of this little dock. It's not very much, it's not detailed at all, but it's a start, and I'm learning. Let's keep the infrastructure rolling, shall we? I'm sacrificing one of the few diamonds I already have to make a enchanting table, because I really want to get some fortune on a pickaxe, and, well, my playstyle requires that I have respiration on my helmet and some feather falling on my boots. That's about the only way I can foresee staying alive in this world for any length of time. I couldn't just put my enchanting table on the ground. I had to put some sort of structure around it. I started building, ended up with this, but I don't hate it. Up this down. I'll put a floor in here at some point. And now this is the part where animal activist needs to look away. Okay, and books. 45. Sure. Let's go ahead and drop down some bookshelves, get ourselves those beautiful level 30 enchantments. Specifically, I'm after Feather Falling 4 and Fortune 3, which, you know, those are kind of staples for any Minecraft playthrough. Take that down. And we do get level 30s. Perfect. Well, as you can imagine, after a little bit longer than I care to admit of fishing, I got bored. So now we're going to go punch some rocks. I don't intend on mining any diamonds should I come across them, but that's simply because I don't have an enchantment set up, and I'd like to get fortune on a pickaxe before I mine any more diamonds, because I don't seem to be able to find them very easily. Fast forward a couple hours, I've got my Fortune 2 pickaxe. I've gone and done a little more mining. I'll show you that now, where I got really lucky. I think I mined a total of 9 diamond ore. Let's just double check that. But anyways, I ended up with like 13 or 14 diamonds from it. And on Fortune 2, that's not too bad. So we're going to craft up a little bit of armor, do a few more enchants, and then we'll be ready to face this world without constant death. Mining session over, it's time to craft up some armor. Now, I managed to get just enough to get a complete set of diamond gear, and I was even able to make a second diamond pickaxe. Now, the enchantments didn't go quite as well as I'd hoped. I did get protection 4 on the helmet. That was all I ended up getting, which is unfortunate on that. The boots ended up being mediocre. I got, I believe it was just Depth Strider and some other useless enchantments there. But, of course, you click on the level 30 enchant button a couple times. Suddenly you're out of levels. You've got gear that you're not super happy with. And, yeah, there we go. Projectile protection. Not the best enchantment, that's for sure. But it is what it is. So, we'll run through the rest of these. And, well, we're already out of levels. So the easiest way I have at this moment is to go fishing. I got bored of fishing again, so I did what any Minecrafter does and went on the hunt for more diamonds. I actually managed to get really lucky this time around, and within about 2 or 3 minutes of mining, came across this vein of diamonds. Managed to get quite a few now that I've got Fortune 3, and sorry, I lost a little bit of footage there, but I was trying to get a Silk Touch pickaxe, ended up with another Fortune 2, and simply combined them because I think it was 1 head unbreaking and 1 head efficiency. So now I have a Fortune 3, efficiency 4, unbreaking 3 pickaxe. But when I came back up from the mines, I realized I have too many animals. And that poor llama, yeah, he's moving around and he has no choice in the matter. And I can't hit him. So it's kind of sad, really. But we're going to clear out all these chickens. It's actually causing some frame drop. And then the cows are next, unfortunately. I feel bad about this, though, because there's a lot, and the noise they make is rather depressing. I'm sorry, chickens. You left me no choice. And just like that, I've run out of materials. And since I kind of want to expand what I'm building with, we're going to go grab some gravel, some sand, and some dyes, because we're going to make some concrete. But this is going to take quite some time, so we're going to wrap it up here for today. I want to say thank you so very much for coming along on this Minecraft adventure. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you have anything you'd like to add to the conversation, so to speak, please leave a comment. Be sure to like the video, hit that subscribe button, And as always, we're going to make sure that we have as much fun as possible on our live streams, at least a couple times a week for the time being. And with that said, have a wonderful day.